Come on. Really? Whopper just farted at me. Morning, buddy. What's up? What's up, buddy? Where you going? Reckon he's hungry? Well, what's up, guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and today's the day. Today is the day that Whopper is going to the processor. It says last day on the farm, and he literally just took off running, ran straight to the barn, and I can shut the gate on him. Much different than some other animals in the past. And if you can't tell, the humidity in Oklahoma is extremely high. It's going to be a scorcher, but it's early this morning. We're going to get Whopper separated. Obviously, I already got him separated. That was the easy part. And then we'll move him down through the barn over to the corral. I haven't hooked up to the trailer or anything yet. I learned a long time ago, if you're going to be moving animals around, if you're going to load animals to leave the farm, get them separated, put them in the lot, then go hook onto the trailer, because they're not stupid. If I go out there and start hooking on that trailer, it's going to get Whopper all fired up. Because if you'll remember, several months ago we had two show heifers here, and anytime we do anything with the heifers, Whopper knew something was going on and he'd just get all stirred up. So we got him locked up, and now we're just going to get in and move him around to the corral, then get the trailer hooked up. Excuse me, ma'am. We're going to have a big steer coming through here in just a minute. What you got? Hey, don't be hateful. Quit biting. Oh, dadgummit. You already hatched babies. Ah, well. Whopper, please don't step on the mama hen. All right, Whop, I need you to come down here, buddy. It's muddy down there, and I don't want to have to walk through it. Come on. Come on. Come on, Whopper. Let's go. Don't step on mama hen. There you go. Head on down. Come on, Whopper. Come on, Whopper. You were supposed to take a left. Left. All right, Whopper, we got to go on around. Don't get too worked up. Let's go. Don't take a left. There you go. Come on, Whopper. Good boy. Step one's done. Let's go hook up to the trailer. Got Whopper in the chute here. All right, Whopper. Could you turn around for me? Let's head down the chute. Come on. Come on, Whopper. You can't go in backwards, buddy. Turn around. There you go. Hey, where your butt is, I need you to 360. Come on. Don't go in backwards. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Turn around, Whopper. Come on. Let's go. Now you're going the right direction. Come on, Whopper. Come on, Whopper. Rufus. Whopper's never been in a trailer. How's he gonna react? Come on, Whopper. Let's go, Whopper. Take your time. Whenever you're ready. Come on, Whopper. Come on. Come on. Come on. Really? Whopper just farted at me. Come on, Whopper. Come on. One big step. One last turd before you go. Let's go. You can do it, buddy. One big step. There you go. You barely opened the gate, son. All right. Whopper's loaded. It's time to go. Well, I guess that's where the story of Whopper kind of comes to a conclusion. Whopper's a good steer. We've had him for, I think he's about 15 months old, something like that. I actually traded 3 weaning age goats for him with a friend, and we raised Whopper here on our farm. And so a lot of people always ask, or they get upset because we name our animals that we send to the processor. And the main reason I do that is because I don't want my family to lose touch with where our food comes from. I totally get it. If we had 50 cows and we were gonna butcher 1 steer every year, it would just be off in the pasture with the rest of the cows, and it wouldn't have a name, and it'd be totally different. But we're a small farm operation with just a few animals, and these animals come here and we give them all the care they need. We give them all the love they need. We take care of those animals. We treat them with respect, and we know the end result, and I want my family to know the end result. But it is just the facts of life. We eat meat, and we know where our meat comes from, at least most of it. But anyway, so with Whopper, what we'll do, we took him to the processor. A lot of people ask why we don't process on the farm. I'm not going to be able to handle a 1,000-pound steer quick enough to take care of it all. I'm not a butcher, and there are no mobile butchers in our area, so you have to take them to a processor. But they will process Whopper. Basically what they'll do after he's gone, they will remove the hide and the hair and the internal organs, split it in half. You'll have 2 sides of beef, and they'll hang it in a cooler for 2 weeks to age the beef. Then they'll cut everything up. So we'll end this video and show you what all we got back from the processor and all the different cuts and stuff. But it's kind of a sad day, I'm not gonna lie. It is a sad day when an animal that you've had a connection with like that for months, literally for almost a year and a half, you know, you send them to the processor. It's not easy, but I don't want it to be easy. That's the thing. I don't want to lose that connection with. There is a life that was given to us and put in our control, and we took care of that life and gave that animal all the best feed and care and everything we could. And then in the end, it goes to feed our families, and that's just the facts of life for us. So we will pick back up in about 2 to 3 weeks when we get everything back from the processor and get everything in the freezer. Normal people just video their stuff going to pick up meat at the processor, right? Mm-hmm. Aren't you excited? We get to see Whopper again. In frozen form. It's kind of mean. Well, Whopper has returned, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 big bags of fresh cuts of meat to get put away.
Do we even have enough room for all of this?
Well, that's a good question. Houston said, do we even have enough room for all this? Well, our freezers are pretty full. I do have a small chest freezer that's empty, but I've been doing some reorganizing and moving stuff around to make it work. So the last steer we processed, which was Big Mac, we only kept half, so we got half of it. And I looked a while ago and we were down to like 10 pounds of ground hamburger meat, ground meat. So a lot, we got like 200 and something pounds of ground meat off of Whopper, plus all the steaks. I did a few things different. I'll go over the breakdown. And anyway, so I'm gonna try to get this packed in freezers before it starts to thaw out. All right, Houston, get all those brought into the garage and I'll start putting them away, okay?
Oh, I can't even get that.
That's all you were gonna carry was just the sliced up heart and liver cuts, huh?
I don't know where to take this part.
Take it in the garage. That'd be a good spot.
Okay.
Big old fat T-bones. 2 T-bones per package, cut 1 inch. I think I had them cut 1 inch thick. I'm not a big fan of chest freezers because things go to the bottom and get lost. So I'm just gonna take all my ground meat, since we have, you know, 232 pounds, I believe, of ground. We're just gonna stack it in here because that's a lot of ground meat. And I don't have to worry about picking through it to see what's what. Chest freezers are really good at holding in the cold because when you open the door, you don't lose your cold air like you do in a stand-up, but they're much harder to organize. All right, well, there you have it. That's the, I guess, the end of the story for our steer Whopper. I think I figured it up the other day, and he was like 15 to 16 months old. And as you saw in the video, Whopper weighed 1,140 pounds. So he was 1,140. And we're keeping all of that here for ourselves. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking. The dogs are wrestling right here. But we're keeping all of that because typically what I'll do is I'll process one and I give some to my in-laws, to my mother and father-in-law, and to my wife's brother, Dusty, and his family at Cross Timbers Bison. Dusty just had a bison processed, and my mother-in-law got a steer from someone else, so their freezers are full. So we're keeping all of Whopper, and we'll probably wait a little while and then start with our next beef steer. So we'll get into the breakdown. I don't want to make this too long, kind of tell you what we got. I'll probably miss something, but so Whopper was 1,140 pounds, and the weight, so when they kill, then they'll remove the hide and the internal organs, and they cut them in half. That gives you a hanging weight. So we had 2 halves of 357 pounds each. So 714 pounds hanging weight. What we got was 225 pounds of ground. Did no roast. So you won't hear me talk about any roast. We still have roast left over from when we processed Big Mac. We don't eat a lot of roast. So we did other cuts. The ground meat, the hamburger meat for, you know, lasagna and tacos and all those quick meals, that's what we go through the most of. We did 1.5 pound packages, and it was cut for 90-10, 90% lean, 10% fat. 225 pounds, that's what filled up that small chest freezer. Now, we did a lot of steaks. We like to have cookouts. We have a lot of family over. So we got as many steaks as we could instead of roast. So they're all 1.25 inches. I think I said 1 inch earlier. We had 14 packages, so there's 2 in each packages. So 14 packages of T-bones. We got 10 packages of ribeyes. Oh, Earl, go on. I'm talking to the camera. We got some chuck steaks. I've never had chuck steaks, but there's 5 packages of those. They're basically what you would take a chuck roast out of, but they sliced them so we can make some sort of steak meal. And I did Like, we got 13 packages of stew meat, which stew meat's like cube steak. So a lot of cuts that, you know, you cut your steaks and you have a piece left instead of making a roast out of it. They cut it up into 2-inch cubes, so like shish kebabs, or you could use it for stew. Obviously, it's stew meat. A lot of different meals we can do in the wintertime with that. There's 2-pound packages, and there's 13 of those, so a lot of stew meat. This year I had her save the flap and the skirt. So that's, think about the flap and the skirt are a thin cut of meat along the side of a cow, and that's where you get your fajita meat. So if you go to a Mexican restaurant and order fajitas, you know, that's a real thin cut, and I want to try to use that to make some fajita meals. It's always just been thrown into the grind pile for ground meat for us, but we kept the skirt and the flap. Kind of strange names, but that's just what they are. There was, it's not easy to read this breakdown. They write all over it. So I'm sure I'm missing something. Oh, the filet, we got filet mignon. There was, they're cut 1 1/4 inch, 2 to a pack. And I think there's only like 4 packages of those. There's not a lot of filet mignon. So total cost, it's, I think they charge 89 cents a pound for processing is what it is. There's like a $60 kill fee, kill and disposal. But the total cost was $635.46. So it is kind of pricey, but when you figure 700 pounds of hanging weight, now you're gonna lose the bones and all that, so it's not 700 pounds of meat, but it's, you know, it's a lot of meat. Cost us $600 for processing. It's worth it. That one steer is going to feed our family for probably 1.5 years if we stretch it out. And since we didn't get roasts and stuff, you know, we got a lot more steaks and a ton of ground hamburger meat. So I'm happy with it. I'm satisfied. You know, I wouldn't want to process myself, and that's another thing. I don't like to do the processing. You do get attached to these animals. A lot of people are like, "Why do you name your animals that you send to the processor?" I do. We do. Yes, you get attached to them, but I know that God put that animal on this earth for a specific purpose, and it's to feed our family, and I'm going to give it the best care I possibly can for the 12 to 18 months that it's with us, and we're going to love it and take care of it and feed it, and then when its time comes, and that's just what feeds our family. And you know what? That right there is food security. You know, we've got beef, we've got pork, we've got goat, we've got a little bit of deer left, we've got some sausages here, all kinds of sausages there, and a whole nother freezer full over there, and a small freezer at the shop that's got fish and deer and some leftover pork and all kinds of stuff. That's what matters to me. If naming my animals makes me a bad person, then so be it. But I don't have to go to the grocery store to buy my meat. I know what this was fed. I know how it was raised. I know how it was treated. And that is important to me. I want my kids to know where their food comes from. That the food doesn't come from the grocery store. That they don't make meat behind the walls in the back of the butcher's area of Walmart. That's not where it comes from. And I want my kids to know that. That's important to me. But anyways, that's all I've got. The end of the story for Whopper. I guess while I'm out here, I'll say, since we're in the warehouse here, we have some Creek Life hats still available. We've got a few Arms Family Homestead hats still available. Some shirts, nothing new. We're not launching anything yet. We will launch in the fall, but we do have quite a bit of inventory right now. So check that out. We get messages all the time about the Creek Life merch, and I'm not wearing an Arms Family Homestead hat. I'm wearing a Granger Smith hat right now. But hats, shirts, armsfamilyhomestead.com. You can check them out there. We appreciate it. So guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. And as Earl and Gemma can say, we'll see you on the next video. Oh yeah, I told you I was gonna forget something. I did have the internal organs, like the heart and the liver. I saved those, have those sliced up. And typically, I mean, we'll eat some of the heart. We don't do liver and onions, but that makes really good treats for the dogs. Our dogs get, every once in a while, I'll thaw a package of that liver out and feed it to the dogs. I didn't do any bones. Sometimes I'll keep a huge bag of soup bones. You can make, you know, your own bone broth, but those also go really good for dog treats. But I've still got some in the other freezer in the barn. We haven't used all that, so I'll let them do what they do with it. But anyways, just wanted to add. I knew I'd forget something.